Okay, so here we are set up for Capture the Kraken. There's the Kraken in the middle of the table, ready to wreck everything, I should think. So we've got a Smasher on that side there with a Hammer Fist next to it. More racks on both of those. Over that side we've got an Abyss with Katrina, the Captain Katrina, I'm quite liking her. A Gear Panther who's just stock, no extras, and then a gunboat that's stock as well. So a bit more of an elite fleet for the Orcs. And yeah, we'll see what we do. This scenario is all about scoring victory points for wounding the Kraken. So it's every full 5 damage, so on and so forth. So actually you can't kill the Kraken, because it is a Kraken. But it's all about seeing what we can do to it. I've rolled wind direction, and it's blowing from the west. So, before the game starts, Katrina von... I can't remember her surname, but Katrina gets to make an additional move step before the game starts. So let's do that. So all I'm going to do is just move her forward, just 4 like that. I think I'm going to angle her ever so slightly, just like that. Just gets her ahead, doesn't it, ready for the game. Okay, so the wind in that direction is actually Katrina to activate first. Okay, so the Abyss is going to drop down to speed 1, and it's going to make its move. So it's moving at 4. I'm going to angle her ever so slightly, using her red turn arc. Try and give this Kraken a broadside. Okay, so the Abyss is 3 heavy, 2 light, 2 close, and it's within 8 inches. So let's see what we can do. We're hitting on modified 6s here, so over 10 you have an additional -2 to hit the Kraken. But in this instance, we're actually just hitting on straight 6s. So my rolling, as ever, comes through. For a total of 2, 4, 5 damage. 5 damage on the Kraken is 1 victory point for the Basileans already, so we take the early lead. Now the next ship in the wind order activation is the Gear Panther. So let's move him forward. So let's move 5 forward. Do that first. Now, I don't want to get too close to this Kraken. I'm a bit concerned as to how powerful it is. So I'm going to fly forward 5 again, which I have to do anyway. So I'm going to swing in again. Nope, slide off. And I'm going to give it a full turn like that to have a full broadside on him. Okay, so the Gear Panther's 1 heavy, 1 light. See what we can do, hitting on 6s. So that's 2 more damage to it. So it's not enough for a victory point, but it does accumulate, so maybe the bomb boat, or should I say the gun brig, can perhaps do something. Now our gun brig is going to slow down to speed 1, and he's going to nip forward 4, which he has to do. It puts him in a decent position there, I think, doesn't it? Probably going to drop anchor next turn, and let's see if we can do some shelling of the Kraken. So at that distance, this indirect weapon is actually hitting on an 8, so it's -2 to hit. So we're just not outside of 10. So 8 hits a natural 10. Now the Kraken can't take critical hits; it's just almost unstoppable. Is the way that it's written in the rules. But that is a square hit doing d6 damage. So that's 5, 6, 7 from the previous one. It's another victory point for the Basileans. But now it's time for the Orcs. Okay, the Hammer Fist. So it's going to stay at speed 2. So move 5 straight forward. Just slightly move the crusher, there we go. I'm going to turn ever so slightly. And move 5 straight forward again. And we're going to turn ever so slightly to get our broadsides in. I think you've just got to score as much as possible on this Kraken as soon as you can. 2 light guns, 2 close quarter guns, hitting on 6s. Oh dear, Orcs. Just trip 2, brilliant. So that's 1 point of damage from the mighty Hammer Fist. His front arc is also out of arc on the gun brig, but it is now time for the Smasher. Okay, so the Smasher's, it has to go forward 4. And we're going to turn ever so slightly. I don't think we're actually going to be able to get our broadsides in, so I'm going to turn into it. I'm not shooting at that point. This could be incredibly dangerous, but hey ho. And I'm going to turn in again. And I think that is a full broadside. So let's open fire. 3 heavy and 2 close. Come on, Orcs. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that's shocking rolling. Miss, 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 miss. Crit. So even though the Orcs have done damage, they've not done 5. So unfortunately, they haven't scored any points. So it is now the end of turn 1. It's turn 2's wind, but something pretty funky happens first. So we roll for our wind direction first, as per normal. So on a 9, the wind is no change, stays where it is. Okay, so the Kraken isn't just going to sit there and let fleets bombard it and so on and so forth. So it actually moves. Now I've just realised that could be really bad for those Basileans if it goes that way. You don't want to mess with a Kraken. So we roll a d10, 1 being north, and we go around the points of the compass, 9 and 10 is towards the direction of the wind. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh dear. This could be a really short game for the Orcs. So the Kraken moves d6 plus 4. So it's moving 5 inches. Now it passes straight through everything. And if it would stop on a ship, it continues forward until it's not going to hit a ship. So the Kraken is actually there. That is really bad news for the Orcs. Now the Kraken is something to behold, so if it moves over a ship or if it goes within 2 of a ship, it attacks it with 5d10. Hitting on a 6 is standard, but each hit causes 6 damage and can cause critical hits. So on the Hammer Fist, that's what we want to see, Kraken. 3 misses. So only a meagre 12 damage on the Hammer Fist. On the Smasher. Okay, it's not too bad. 12 on the Smasher as well. So that is 12 damage just off a movement phase. That Kraken is brutal. And with the wind rosette not moving, it's actually over to the Basileans to go now. So the query here is, are we going to try and punch the Kraken some more? Although we already have a lead, do we try and press our advantage and try and cripple these Orc ships? So let's see what we're going to do. Okay, so the Abyss, we have to move our 4 forward. It's only at speed 1. I'm not going to speed up. I'm going to move forward 4 and turn into everything a little bit, I think. So the Abyss has a red turning arc. And we'll go like that. Okay, so at that range, which is just over 10, it actually puts our close guns on the Abyss out of range, and we're also now hitting on 8. So we're going to shoot the Kraken. So miss, miss, miss. Oh, that's literally what just happened to that ship. Okay, so hitting a crit. Lovely stuff. Causing 3 damage on the Kraken, which I'm just going to note with a dice this turn, just see a tally as to how much we've caused to it. That's a sort of bit of a top tip, I think, is just keep a damage trap per turn on the Kraken. The Gare Panther is next, so we don't want to get too carried away here, but I have to move forward my 5. I'm going to turn in using my yellow turning arc. Now I'm going to give the Kraken a volley at that point and then move on to my next step. And at this range we're hitting on 6s, so a heavy and a light. So 1 more damage to the Kraken, taking the total up to 4. And the Gare Panther is going to continue on with its next movement step, where it's going to move forward its 5 and turn in again. Spread your ships out. Now, this sort of positioning, the actual gun brig's going first against this. Basileans have had 2 activations on the bounce here, really, on their entire fleet. He's dropped anchor and he's going to shell the Kraken. Why would he not? And just an amendment to that, because I'm not a veteran crew, I actually have a closer target, so I have to shoot the Hammer Fist. So it's -2, so it's hitting on an 8. That's a critical hit on the hammer fist. So we have d6 damage from the from the indirect shot, which is 6, and then a roll on the critical damage table, which is 2d6. So a 5 on the crit table means it takes an additional d6 plus 2 damage. So that is 6, 12, that's 14 damage in one hit with this gunboat. That's amazing. Okay, so it's now the Smasher's activation. So I think the first thing it's going to, what it has to do is move forward 4. It's staying at speed 2 here. I'm going to try and do some serious damage with it. Let's do some turning. Okay, so turning in like that has actually put me within 3 inches of broadside, so I'm going to give this Kraken a good volley in my first move step. So 3 heavy, 2 close. Let's go, Orcs. Here we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? So hit, hit. And for the range, another hit. So within 3, we're actually doing multiple damage here. So we're within 3, so we're doubling this damage up. So that is 3, 6, 9 to 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage off a broadside. That's 3 victory points just off 1 volley. Well played, Smasher. We're also going to continue on our second movement step. So let's see if we can punish these foolish Basileans and show them what Orcs are actually made of. So I'm going to go forward another 4. And I'm quite happy to stay like that, I think. Allowing hopefully a savage broadside on the Ger Panther, and then we'll open up with the front guns on the Abyss as well. Okay, so 3 heavy, 2 close on the Ger Panther first, hit on 4s because of the range. Ooh, that's pretty horrific, isn't it? So that is all hit. There's no crits, but it's all hit. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, doubled to 24 damage in 1 volley. Wow. Which absolutely cripples, more than cripples. It almost destroys a Ger Panther in 1 volley, that. Front heavy at the Abyss. Misses. So let's see about some cheeky boarding. Now, to do this I actually need a 5+ on the d6 basically, so no, it's missed. Which is fine, you know, it was a pretty savage hit, that wasn't it? But yeah, not too bad. So our poor hammer fist has taken a bit of a pounding, so I'm actually going to activate it and declare a repair action, which will make d6 damage. So it takes 3 off it, and that will take him down to 23 damage. And I think it's time for him just to get out of dodge a little bit. So he's still at speed 2, can be 5. Let's go and try and pester that bomb gun brig thing. There we go, so let's move him over there. Turn in circle. I'm going to go fully into that. Now I can't shoot because I've done a repair action, but you have to deal with that hammer fist or it's going to hurt you. Okay, so savage turn, really. They got to put out that Smasher can put out some serious damage. It's nothing like a Kraken, but it can put out some serious damage. So at the start of turn 3, direction for the wind, and we've got a big 12. Moving the wind rosette 1 step anti-clockwise, so it's now in that far corner. The Kraken's turn, which let's be honest, what everyone wants to see. D10 again. It's a 10, so it goes directly towards the wind rosette. D6 plus 4, so 6 inches, and that, if we look at this, is actually going to take it within 2 of that Smasher. That's really nasty for the Orcs again, that. So 6 inches forward within 2 of the Smasher. Unleash the Kraken. Ooh. Okay, so 5d10s on the poor Smasher, hitting on 6s. Ooh. So that roll has just done 30 damage to the Smasher. If it was a lesser ship by a lesser race and not true mariners that are Orcs, that would be dead. But 30 damage is a severe hit. taking the smasher up to 42 damage. So it's not at its nerve yet, but that was a... Whew. So order of activation, we're going to have the Abyss, the Gunbrig, then it's going to be the Smasher, then the Ger Panther, and then the poor Hammer Fist over there that's on its last legs. Okay, so our Abyss is going to move its 4 forward, which it has to do. 1 to 5 there, guys, is how I'm measuring that. And then we're going to do our full turn in. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a full turn in, so I don't want to hit the Ger Panther. Look at that beast. It's like that. Okay. Now, being a regular crew again, I have to shoot the Smasher. I imagine that's how it works, because I am counting it as a target and I have to shoot the closest target. I'm in arc, but not fully, so I am stifled in my attempt to damage the Smasher further. Okay, so all the guns are in range. 3 heavy, 2 long, 2 close. It's a -1 to hit because the Smasher's partially visible. It's not fully within the arc, basically. So we're on 7s. Okay, so 3 hits. We're not within 3 inches either, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. Okay, so we're now over to our Ger Panther. Actually, we're over to our Gunbrig. So it's anchored. It's going to have to deal with this. We're going to turn slightly and we'll try and shoot him. Okay. And this time it misses. So from the centre of the scatter, it turns that way. It's missed. Okay. So that's the Gunbrig over. Now the Smasher in true Orc fashion is going to go down speed 1 and move its 4. Now, how do we turn this? So if I'm the dilemma here, if I just pick that up, so obviously I can shoot the Kraken with that broadside, that's fine. At the range and such like, I maybe want to turn into that, but I also want to hit this guy here. Now the Smasher does have a long range rear cannon, but also it'd be nice to give the Abyss a bit of a seeing to, so to speak. So let's see. Okay, slight turn into the Kraken, full broadside into the Kraken. We're going to broadside this guy, we're going to rear gun this guy as well, and then we're going to try and board the Kraken. Why not, eh? Do some damage, let's get some points on the board. Okay, point blank into the Kraken, let's go. Hit on force, so there we go, and this is all doubled, so we have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 damage on the Kraken in one volley. I'm really liking the Smasher, really liking it. And we're going to do the same again into the Abyss. Now, we're actually just within 3 there. It's very close, but it's just. However, it's only partially in our fire arc, I believe. So I'm going to say it's partially in, just so. So basically, I'll be hitting on 5s. Okay. Yeah, okay. I thought Orcs were good with axes, not cannons, but there you go. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24 damage on the Abyss. And we're going to have one cheeky long shot. Now we're in 3 here as well. This smash has been put into a brilliant position. It's obviously the skill of the captain involved, obviously. You know. Anyway, so hitting on 4s. Oh, never mind, it's a miss. However, I'm going to try and grapple the Kraken. Now I'm within 3. And I'm going to try and fight it in a boarding action. This might be crazy. I don't know. Do I want to do this? I'm on 7 victory points. I've done 20 damage to it this turn. It maxes out. I can only do a maximum of 5 VPs on it anyway. I'm going to try and grapple this ship. Okay? And it's all academic anyway. The poor Ger Panther is... He's not looking very well. He's on 24 damage and he can take a total of 28. However, I think it's... Oh, I don't know. He's going to repair. I think he's got to repair. So, first thing he does... Oh, D6 takes 2 off him. So 2 off him. That's fine. Let's shift him forward. And turn him. Trying to get him out of the way as best we can, although to be honest with you, maybe... oh no, he should be alright. Second move. 1 to 6. Yeah, there you go. And let's turn him in. There we go. Okay, so the hammerfist, doing as Orcs do, is going to ram this boat because it's had enough of it. It's been shelling them all game, so on and so forth. Smash. So, will it save itself? Oh, will it save itself? No. So, Orcs automatically fail a collision test. The other ship fails, so that's a collision. Okay, so both ships do D10 damage on each one. So the smasher on the gunbrig does 9 with the special rule of ram 2, so that's 11 damage on the gunbrig, and the gunbrig back does 2. Okay, and because the gunbrig was anchored, it takes an additional D3 damage for 2 more. And the hammerfist gets to try and board them. So 5 up. Oh, it's a 3. So unfortunately, it's all done. Okay, another savage turn for the Orcs. They're ahead 7 to 2 victory points wise. That Abbas really needs to get pounding something, doesn't it? So, I think it also shows you guys what a large ship can do when it gets to fire all of its weapons. It's just horrific. Anyway, roll for the wind. 486, which means that it's no change. We're still over in the top. But now, I just get a D10. What does the Kraken do? It's a 9. Oh my word. So it goes towards the windrows again through the smasher. D6 plus 4 for 5 inches. There we go. So if we're taking it to 6, it's going to go to there. So I think the most destructive thing on the board is the Kraken, as you would expect. So now it obviously gets to attack the poor smasher again. 5d10 hitting on 6s. Ooh. Okay, so that's a flat 24 damage and then a critical hit. So the 1 on critical hit is the sailor engine critical hit. It's an additional d6 plus 2 damage and reduces the speed by 1. So another 6, so that's another 30 damage on that smasher. Wow. Now the that Kraken has now done 30, 50, 60, 75, 78, 79 damage and has actually annihilated that smasher. It's just destroyed it. It just went straight through it. It's done it. That I've never seen anything quite like that in all the time I've been gaming. That smasher is well and truly smashed. Well, that's sort of changed things a little bit, hasn't it? So wins over here. Let's go to turn 4. Okay, so order of activation. Gunbrig, Abbas, Hammerfist, and then the Porg Panther at the bottom. Now, I'm not certain if I want to destroy that Hammerfist with the Gunbrig because I want to cause some damage to this Kraken. So let's see what we can do. So because I'm anchored, I'm going to turn like that, and I'm going to fire a volley at the Kraken, which hits. Excellent. So I'll start off with decent damage for 2. Let's mark it there. Over to the Abbas, which has to move its 4 forward, and then we will be turning in using our red turning arc. Just line that up properly. Let's have a quick look at that broadside. We're in. Within 8. So let's see if we can score some victory points. 3 heavy, 2 long, 2 close, hitting on 6s. And this there. So we've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage, taking it to 10. So we're at 2 victory points so far this turn. Now the Hammerfist collided as well, so it's actually anchored as well now. So it would go down to anchored. So what it's going to do is 10. And we'll try and deal with this gun break. So it's going to be a normal broadside, a close range broadside. It's not a rake. However, we also have a weapon at the front, which is going to be popping the Kraken with as well. It's only down to one dice, one heavy, one light, and it's because the ship is crippled, basically. Oh, apologies, it's not crippled. We actually did some repairing, didn't we? So let's see if we can hit this little thing. So hitting on 4s. So 1 miss. 3, 6, 7, double to 14 damage on the gun brig. Taking it to 27 damage and sinking it. Now, unfortunately for the Orcs, they don't score any victory points for that because it's a small ship they've just sunk, but it means he's not going to get shelled. We have one long range shot out the front. Let's just check the range there, guys, quickly. So we're within 8, so hit on 6 it is, which hits, does 1 point damage. It's not enough to score any victory points for the Orcs this turn, unfortunately. The Gear Panther is going to attempt to repair for 6 damage off it. There we go, lovely. So the Gear Panther gets 6 damage off, and it's just going to move and yeah, try and get some distance between it and the Kraken, I think. So we're going to go like that, turn back into the board. It's got a yellow turning on it, so I'm kind of hoping I'm not going to hit this rock. Who knows? Let's go like that, so we're not going to hit this rock. There we go. Okay, so 6 to the Orcs, 4 to the Basileans. Let's roll for the wind, see what happens. So 2d6 on the table again, guys. We got a 9. The wind is staying in the place that it is. Let's have a look at the Kraken. It's going towards the direction of the wind. So d6. So it's going 6 inches directly towards that corner. And that would mean that it's the Hammer Fist, then the Abbess, and then the Gear Panther that's choosing discretion as the better part of valour for 10-5. So let's move the 10, counter up 1 to 5. Let's see what the Hammer Fist can do. Okay, so he's going to go at speed 1, and he's going to move 5. And he's going to turn in his full red. Oh, he's just out, I think. So he's just out of the broadside to the Kraken. However, he will have a pop at the Abbess. It's one long range gun, so it's within range. It's a -1 to hit, so he's on 7s, and he misses. Now the Abbess at speed 1, he's going to move 4 to 4. 1 to 5, there we go. So I've done 1 to 5 again. I just find it easier, it just keeps it straight, doesn't it? And then let's turn her in and see what she can do. Okay, at this range, I've got my long and heavy guns in, I believe. Let's just double check. Sorry, light and heavy. Just so light and heavy. Heavy's in definitely. Light is just in. It's -2 to hit because I'm over 10 inches from the Kraken, and an additional -1, I believe. Okay, so I think I'm hit on 9s. So I hit once, do 2 damage to it. And the Gear Panther will go down to speed 1. Because he's he's getting a bit sort of risky near the edge of the board. He's going to go forward 5, and he's going to turn around this rock. A piece of expert sailing there, and that's him done. So actually, he would declare he's going to repair for another 2 damage. So some distance building up now. We're 7 for the Basileans, 4 for the Orcs still. I don't think this Hammer Fist is going to be able to do it. Let's see what happens to the wind. So 9, it's staying in the same position. More importantly, let's see what the Kraken does. 4. So we go north, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's actually going into this corner. A distance of 7 inches. So turn 6, just to confirm, it's actually 7 to the Orcs and 4 to the Basileans. So we've got the Hammerfist to go first, then it's going to be the Abbess, and then the Panther. So let's see what we can do. So the Hammerfist is going to have to do its 5 straight forward. And ooh, I think he's going to turn ever so slightly to put his front guns into range of the Kraken and have a pop at it, and he misses. So now it's over to the Abbess. What can she do? Okay, so the Abbess is going to have to move its 4 forward first of all. So let's put that down. There we go. And we're going to turn in with our red turning arc. Oh, I love these templates, they're so easy to use. There we go. Let's turn like that. Okay. Now in that position, even though I've got a regular crew, that's out of my broadside arc, so I believe the closest target is the Kraken. Now correct me if I'm wrong, that's how I read it. So I'm actually going to broadside the Kraken. 3 heavy, 2 light, -3 to hit, big 9s. Well, that was going out with a whimper, not a bang, eh? Never mind, nothing. It's over to the Panther. I think that because of where he is, he's going to attempt to repair, and that's a 6, guys. He's going to move his 5 forward. 2 to 7, I'm doing that, and he's going to turn into the board. Turn over. Okay, into turn 7, so it's still 7 to 4 for the Orcs. It's an interesting one because obviously that Abbess could probably batter that Hammerfist quite easily, but I need the points from the Kraken. I only get 1 victory point from destroying that Hammerfist. So let's think what we can do. But wind, first of all, for a 9 is no change. And then what we all unleash the Kraken. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh dear, it's going into this corner. D6 plus 4. This could be horrific. Okay, 8 inches. Now this could all be academic anyway, so the Kraken is actually going to hit the Hammerfist. So no. So that's 12 damage straight away, and a critical hit, which is a 5. Okay, so that is major structural damage, additional D6 plus 2. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage on the Hammerfist. And if I was to add the 16 damage on the 25 already taken, we're over our nerve and we're over our SP. So the Kraken has actually single-handedly sunk the Orc fleet by itself. So Hammerfist is dead, splat. Yeah, interesting. Let me check the scenarios and see what the outcome is. Now the rulebook states that if one side is to annihilate the other, you play the remainder of that turn and 1 additional turn. So I read that as, because that's the start of turn 7, the Basileans are going to get 2 turns here to actually try and score some victory points on this guy. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so the Abbess is going to actually go to speed 2 here. So do the first move step. It's just because, guys, I want to see if I can get a better position to give this thing a proper brutal broadside. So I've got that one. However, I'm going to move my second step and swing in as far as I can. Okay, so let's measure some ranges. That second move step has actually put me in 3, which is what I was looking for. So I'm actually hitting on 4s, doubling this damage with my full volley. So this is really it for the game, isn't it? Okay, so miss. Okay, some solid hits. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18 damage, takes 3 victory points straight away, which brings the game to a tie with the Orcs. So I'm going to try and grapple this Kraken. So 18, I only need to do 2 more damage to get an additional victory point to actually win the game, but I do need a 5. It's a no. However, Da-da-da-da-da. Let's see what he can do. Our Panther has to move forward 5. And he has to do his turn in. Now I don't believe he's going to be in range, but we'll double check that. And he's just out, so unfortunately, however, we do get one last turn, don't we? So turn 8. Let's see what happens with the wind, and let's see what happens with the Kraken. Wind roll. It's a 4. 1 step clockwise. So, in the final turn of the game, I'll take the counters off now. So there's the wind rosette. Let's be honest, more importantly, let's see what happens with the Kraken. Goes to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, I think we might have just escaped that. Let's see how far it goes. 6. So those very lucky Basileans have just escaped that. And funny enough, the Kraken's ended up in the back of the board, in the middle of the board, which is quite interesting. So final Basilean turn, let's see what we can do. So over to the Abbess, which needs to do some moving. So she has to go 4 straight forward. And turn in. And at speed 2, we have to do the same again. So, I'm just hoping that we've got enough here, you know. So there we go, let's turn her in. It's a shame you can't stern rake in. There we go. Okay, so within 8, we've got all of our dice. This is it. This is for the game. So, normally hitting on 6s, still hitting on 6s. Let's go. Oh, it's a shocking roll. Oh no, it's really not. No, however, 3, 6, 7, 8 damage. It's enough for 1 victory point, taking the Basileans to 8. So they're now in the lead. Now, I think that with the distance there between that Panther, well, they might be able to do something. Let's see what the Panther can do. If we go up to speed 2. Let's see what we can do. Let's go 5 forward. I don't know if this is going to take him off the table, that's the issue. Let's turn him in. This is all going to depend on this measurement, I guess. So it's actually 20 inches, so he gets to fire his heavy gun. However, he's hitting on a 9, and he misses with a solid 1. But hey, that is Basileans 1 point ahead of the Orcs at the end of the turn, and the Kraken sank the entire Orc fleet by itself. So yeah, what an incredibly fun scenario to play. I can't wait to play this with other players. That Kraken is brutal, as you'd expect. But yeah, good showing by the Basileans. They are the broadsiding masters so far, I think. Get a Panther again. Good ship. It's a good ship. I thought it was going to die, but you know, it managed to keep itself alive. So thanks for watching, guys, as always. Do subscribe for more Armada gameplay. Next is going to be the Vortex. Ooh. Take care wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, stay well, and always happy hobbying.